You know, the problem that I'm facing with self-help books these days is that these books are trying sometimes too hard to convince you or to make you believe in the concept that they are presenting, and sometimes that gets a bit too much. Hi, hello, namaste. My name is RJ Manjula and welcome to my YouTube channel जहाँ पर हम books, 90s poetry और life की बातें करते हैं. And today I'm going to review a book जिसका नाम है Deep Work by Cal Newport. It's of course a self-help book. Now there are certain aspects of this book that I'm really in love with, but then there are certain aspects that I just did not like. So let's try and find out कि मुझे क्या पसंद आया और क्या नहीं. So first of all, we need to understand what deep work is. It's of course one's ability to work without any distractions. Like when you are focused, 100% focused on your work, you're fully concentrated on your work and you have no distractions, which is a quality that's becoming rare and rare these days. Now, of course, all of us most of the time do shallow work. Shallow work also means doesn't really mean that you are not focusing on a particular project, but there are certain things like mundane things that you need to do, important things that needs to be done, but not necessarily they require your full attention or 100% focus. But when it comes to your work, your passion, and the things that you do for your living, then you need to give your 100% to that project. So in the first part of the book, author tries to tell you why deep work is valuable, why it is rare, why it is important, why it is meaningful, and why it is different from shallow work. How can you lead a more meaningful life when you are completely engrossed in your work, and why this quality is becoming rare rare and rare these days. Because what happens, because we are surrounded with so many distractions these days, like for example our mobile phone, and we look at one notification but ends up spending almost an hour on our mobile phones in the middle of the projects that we are working on. और इस किताब में बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल्स दिए गए हैं इन द फर्स्ट पार्ट विच टॉक्स अबाउट दैट हाउ पीपल लाइक बिल गेट्स दे टेक ऑफ फ्रॉम देयर रेगुलर वर्क, और वो मतलब अपने ऑफिस से गायब हो जाते हैं, और उसके बाद वो टू थिंक ऑफ न्यू आइडियाज़ ही जस्ट स्टेज एट होम और गोज टू अ पर्टिकुलर प्लेस एंड थिंक ऑफ न्यू आइडियाज़ बिकॉज ही नीड्स टू बी 100% focused in that without any distractions. Now there are so many other examples like J.K. Rowling, हैरी पॉटर की जो राइटर हैं, जब वो अपने हैरी पॉटर सीरीज़ का लास्ट पार्ट लिख रही थी, बिकॉज द होल वर्ल्ड वाज वेटिंग फॉर दैट बुक, so she was finding it very difficult to focus. And what she did, she checked into a hotel and she had planned that she'll be there for like 2-3 days and she'll finish her book from there. But then she ended up spending a lot of time in that hotel, and she was able to write most part of her book from that hotel. So of course the first part explains that why deep work is important. The second part of this book has certain rules, certain tips and tricks, by using that you can achieve deep work in your life, and how you can increase your focus and attention. Cal Newport has given you certain tips and tricks in this. Like for example, he says when you spend more time with nature, it helps you achieve more in life, achieve and work deeply. It gets your attention back. Sometimes you feel that you're distracted, you're like all over the place, you can't focus on one thing at a time. Then please spend some more time with nature and it'll get back. There's a term actually for it. It's called art, which means attention restoration theory. And it's been proven that if you spend time with nature, it has a positive effect on your deep work. और कैल न्यूपोर्ट ये भी बताते हैं कि जब आप दिमाग का काम करते हैं, तो जब आप काम कर रहे हैं तो फुल दिमाग, दिल, फुल कंसंट्रेशन के साथ काम कीजिए. लेकिन जब आप आराम कर रहे हैं, तो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर द ब्रेन ऑल्सो टू रेस्ट. सो आपको दिमाग को भी उतना आराम करने की ज़रूरत है. तो उसके लिए अगर आप कभी कभी जो है टाइम वेस्ट कर रहे हैं हल्का सा, मतलब अगर आप आराम कर रहे हैं उसको आप टाइम वेस्ट नहीं कह सकते, तो प्लीज़ कीजिए, क्योंकि उसमें दिमाग को भी आराम मिलता है. The book also talks about how quitting social media can also help you, and of course that in today's world it's not very easy to quit social media, not because of your personal choices but also because of professional reasons, because you need social media to promote your work. There are people who are earning from social media, so it is difficult for you to not be on social media. But what you can do is you can make a list, or make a calendar, or make a timetable, that where you will define that this much time I'm going to spend on social media and this much time on my work. And the author also says that while I understand that it's very difficult for you to quit social media fully, but you can partially block it for some time. You can just be offline for some more time, and you'll see the results, and there'll be more efficiency in your work. And while I really really love this book, as I said, that it helps you achieve more in life, because when you are actually focused in your work, like think about it, today if I'm working on a project, or I'm reading, or doing anything that I really like, one notification on my mobile, and I end up looking at that notification, and I have this in my mind that I only want to look at that one particular notification. But you don't realize, when you end up spending almost 1 hour in maybe surfing the internet, checking your emails, checking all your notifications, and surfing social media, watching shorts and reels. There are certain tips in the book that will help you achieve this 100% concentration while you're working, and also make sure that you use your social media, but mindfully. So as I said in the beginning of this book, I have two issues with this book. The first one is that the first part of the book, which explains why deep work is important, is actually very very long, and sometimes gets boring. Like for example, I understand that you wanted to establish the fact that deep work is important, and you've done that. बट सेम बात को अलग अलग वर्ड्स में बार बार लिखना, बार बार रिपीट करना, थोड़ा सा बुक को बोरिंग बना देता है फर्स्ट पार्ट में. And the second annoying part of this book is the long sentences. Some sentences are so long that by the time you start the sentence and you reach the end of the sentence, you've already forgotten what the sentence was all about. Like some sentences are a paragraph long. So these are two minor issues that I have with this book. But yes, overall I would say the concept of this book is really good. The ideas, tips and tricks presented are effective. If you use them in your life, you will be able to increase your focus and overall achieve more in life. So this was my review of Deep Work by Cal Newport. I hope you find this review useful. Do give it a try. And if you find this useful, then please make sure you share this review with all the book lovers you know, all your friends and family members. And also make sure you subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell. हम मिलेंगे बहुत जल्दी एक नए वीडियो के साथ. तब तक के लिए पढ़ते रहिए और हंसते रहिए.